Hello, OLV nursery classes. It's the second week of Advent and we're still getting ready for Jesus to come on Christmas. I have a lovely story to read to you today, and it is called Mortimer's Christmas Manger. And it is written by Karma Wilson and illustrated by Jane Chapman. Oh, it's about a little mouse who needs a new house. So let's see what's happening. Mortimer's Christmas Manger. In a big house lived a wee mouse named Mortimer. He dwelled in a dark hole under the stairs. Nobody ever noticed little Mortimer, and Mortimer liked it that way. But he didn't like his hole. Too cold, too cramped, too creepy, squeaked Mortimer. Each day he snuck out and crept about looking for crumbs and tidbits. Oh boy, there he is, looking around for some food, right? One day, Mortimer saw something new, and what he saw was wonderful. He saw a huge tree covered with twinkling lights, and nestled on top was a bright, shining star. But something even better than the tree itself sat next to it on a table. Mortimer sighed with delight. A tiny house, just my size. Can you see the house that Mortimer is talking about? Let's see what he does. But the house was so high and Mortimer was so low. "I'll climb up the tree," said Mortimer. It made a perfect ladder for a mouse. Up, 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 Mortimer climbed. Down, down, down. The ornaments crashed. Look at Mortimer climbing up the tree. Oh, goodness. Finally, he reached the table. "Perfect," said Mortimer. "Not cold, not cramped, not creepy, cozy. But who are you?" Mortimer had never seen people so small, almost as small as himself. He had never seen such strange animals either. Tap, tap, tap. Mortimer knocked, but no one answered. Tap, tap, tap. No one moved an inch. "I see," Mortimer squeaked. "You aren't real, only statues." And so Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged, and one by one he lugged those statues out. Let's see. I see. Oh my goodness. Looks like he's dragging one of the three kings out over there. When he reached the smallest statue, he saw it was a baby. A baby in a wooden bed, just Mortimer's size. "There's no room for you here," Mortimer said. "Out you go." Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell asleep in the soft, warm hay. did he take out of that bed? The baby Jesus. The next day, as Mortimer crept about, he found good things to eat. Cookie crumbs, fruitcake morsels, and spicy peppermint candy. But when Mortimer scampered back up to his new home, the statues were set up again. "No, no, no," squeaked Mortimer. "This won't do. There's no room for me." He's a funny little mouse, isn't he? And so Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged until all the statues were out. "And stay out," he said. Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell asleep in the soft, warm hay. But each day, while Mortimer scurried about, the statues were set up again, and Mortimer always lugged and tugged them back out. Then one day, Mortimer set out and saw the big people gathered around the tree. He couldn't go out there, so he hid among the statues. A man started talking. Mortimer listened, and what he heard was wonderful. "Since it is Christmas Eve, I shall tell the Christmas story," the man said. "A long time ago, in a little town called Bethlehem." And so Mortimer heard about people named Joseph and Mary and a bright, shining star. He heard about shepherds and traveling wise men. And then the man said there was no room for them at the inn. Because we know when Mary and Joseph went to Bethlehem, there was no room for them. And so the baby Jesus was born in a stable, right? Then Mortimer heard about the baby, a baby who was born in a stable and had no real bed, but slept in a wooden manger, a baby born to save the world. "And his name shall be called Jesus," said the man. Mortimer looked at the bright, shining star on the tree. He looked at his new home and his new bed. He looked at the statues. And last of all, he looked at the baby. "I see," sighed Mortimer. "You aren't just any statue. You are a statue of Jesus." Mortimer sniffed and Mortimer snuffled. A tear rolled down his furry cheek. "There was no room for you in the inn, but I know where there is room," he said. And so Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged, and soon he dragged all the statues back to where they belonged. And last of all, he laid the baby in the manger. "This belongs to you," he said. Mortimer smiled. "You look warm and cozy now." There was no place for Mortimer to go except back to the cold, crampy, creepy hole. As Mortimer scuttled down the tree, he said a prayer. Jesus, you were born to save the world. Perhaps you could also bring me a home? And then Mortimer saw something new. What he saw was wonderful. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size. And there were no statues in sight, so Mortimer moved right in. Thank you, Jesus, said Mortimer. You've made room for me, too. Look at the house that Mortimer moves into. Do you know what that is? You're right. It's a gingerbread house. Wow. Mortimer's Christmas manger. Well, I know that you all know the Christmas story. And that's a nice little story about a mouse who goes to sleep in Jesus's bed in the manger that's set up in the family home. Well, okay, OLV nursery classes, I will see you soon with another story. Take care. Remember, it's Advent and we're all getting our hearts ready for Jesus. We're being kind to each other and saying our prayers and getting all ready for Christmas Day. Bye-bye.